Howard, the representative for the Republican Party for the Tri-Cities area.
Well, not the Tri-Cities area, just the city of Hopewell. Thank y'all for showing up. We appreciate Corey taking the time out of his schedule to come down and talk to us to meet the constituents here in the Tri-City area. It's an honor and a privilege to have our candidates actually come out and meet the people of the Tri-City. On behalf of the Republican Party of the city of Hopewell, myself as the chairman, I'd like to thank you for showing up, and please give a warm welcome to our next governor of the great Commonwealth of Virginia, Mr. Corey Stewart.
Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Well, I want to thank you, Brandon. Thanks a lot, and I want to thank Pastor Bennett for this great opportunity to be on the show and offer up the place here to do this rally today. And I want to say hi to all the listeners on WHAP 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. So we just had our another debate, a Republican debate for governor. I think things went pretty well. For those of you who were there, I think it went pretty well. One of the things that I've done in Prince William County, Northern Virginia, I led, and up there I'm the county-wide elected chairman. I'm directly elected as the chairman of the Board of Supervisors up there, there are 454,000 residents, and I'm directly elected as chairman by all of them. I've done that through 4 elections by increasing margins. It's a 54% minority district. It's a tough district. It voted heavily for Obama twice and for Hillary Clinton as well, but I continue to win there. And you know why? It's because something that is near and dear to my heart, something that I did in 2007 that was controversial, but I'm not afraid of controversy, and that is we put in place in 2007 the nation's toughest crackdown on illegal immigration in the United States.
Yeah!
So, why? Because the first job of any elected official, whether you're a state or local, or even the federal government, is to protect the lives and the rights of the citizens you serve. And we had a lot of illegals. You know what? We had a big gang problem in Prince William County. MS-13, very, very brutal gang, a lot of whom are up in Northern Virginia. Fairfax County just recently has had a number of mutilations and murders by illegal alien criminals. 80% of MS-13 gang members are illegal aliens. And that is why I put in place that policy. It's very simple. You commit a crime in our county, we check your immigration status. If you're here illegally, we have you deported. Very simple.
Yeah.
So far, more than 7,500 criminal illegal aliens have been apprehended by our police department and handed over to ICE for deportation. Our violent crime rate dropped by 48.7% in 3 years. You know, that's a common sense policy. And one thing that I'm going to be doing, and by the way, you've got a great delegate here in Riley. Give him a round of applause. And Riley and I are going to be working together, folks. We're going to be working together. We are going to put forth the nation's toughest crackdown on illegal immigration for any state in the United States.
Yeah.
287G authority. We are going to root out criminal illegal aliens, not just from Hopewell, not just from the Tri-Cities area, but for the entire Commonwealth. We are going to make sure that if somebody is here illegally and they're a criminal and we apprehend them, that they will never again threaten the lives or the safety of any Virginia resident. We have a problem in the Commonwealth too, folks, and I don't want to beat around the bush because it's a big problem. We cannot ignore it. We got a big problem with opioid addiction, heroin addiction, It claims the lives of 3 Virginia citizens every single day. Since 2010, more than 4,000 Virginians have lost their lives, their heroin addiction. 4 out of every 5 of the heroin addicts in this state, 4 out of every 5, start with legal prescription drugs. We're going to take this on. Riley and I are going to be working together with the rest of the General Assembly. We're going to take it head on. We're going to work together with law enforcement. We're going to work together with social services, the community services boards, the counties across the state. And we are going to end this plague of opioid addiction in the Commonwealth, because it affects so many other things that ruins so many families, and it's just absolutely wrong. And we're going to take the gloves off and we're going to fix the problem here in Virginia. So I'm your law and order candidate. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of political correctness. In fact, I detest political correctness.
Yeah.
Political correctness is a real problem, folks, because without the ability to speak the truth, without the ability to say exactly what's on your mind, without the ability to absolutely say, look, here's the problem, we're going to fix it, we can't fix anything. And the left for too long has silenced conservatives, and we're not going to let it happen. One of the great reasons I love Pastor Bennett's show is because it's the politically incorrect zone, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
So a couple weeks ago, I went down, Maria, by the way, I want to introduce my wife, Maria. We've been married for 22 years, right over there. And, you know, I wasn't born in Virginia, I'll be honest with you, but I got here as quick as I could. We love this state. We're raising our family here. I grew a business here. And you adopted me. And I adopted you. And I love this state. I love its culture. I love its heritage. I love its history. I love everything about it. And we must never let the left try to destroy our history and our heritage. And so when the city of Charlottesville voted to take down the statue of Robert E. Lee, I went down there. Maria and I did, and we were mobbed by about 100 liberal, wacko, lefty protesters. They were very, very rude, saying some very nasty things, and we stood our ground because they voted to remove a statue of Robert E. Lee, which had been there since 1924. 1924. Robert E. Lee is an American hero, folks. He's a Virginia hero. He was the last person who wanted to secede from the Union. He didn't want to do it. And after the war was over, he could have sat on the sidelines embittered. He could have led a guerrilla war movement. He didn't. He worked to reconcile the country, to bring us back together. And for that, we remember him. When he became president of Washington College, now Washington and Lee University, some white students attacked some black citizens, and Robert E. Lee had them expelled. Robert E. Lee brought our country together and reconciled the two parts of our country much faster than it ever would have. And when the citizens of Charlottesville recognized him and his memory in 1924 by putting that statue there, they wanted to make sure that we remembered him. And we could use a little of that today, by the way. Courage, strength, reconciliation. We could use that kind of leadership today. And that's why I went there to defend that statue. And if you think that the left is going to stop at Robert E. Lee, they're not going to. The city of Charlottesville has already made it clear that next on their list is to take down the statues of Thomas Jefferson. So I've got a question for you. Are we going to let them do that?
No.
Are we going to protect our heritage?
Yes.
Are we going to take our Commonwealth back?
Yes.
Well, then I'm your candidate for governor, folks.
All right.
issues. There's a lot of issues. The number one of which is we've got to bring some job growth back to the Commonwealth of Virginia. We've been sitting aside as North Carolina dropped the top marginal income tax rate from 7.75% in 2010, and today it's 5.49%, and Virginia stays at 5.75%, and our businesses and our citizens are overtaxed, and we wonder why we're losing 10,000 jobs a year to North Carolina.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
They've done the tough thing down there. They've cut spending, they cut taxes. They're better to small business. And that is what we're going to do. And for every one of you who pays taxes in the Commonwealth, I want to let you know one thing. That we are going to begin to ratchet down the income tax in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Eventually, we're going to eliminate it all together. And we're going to bring back job growth.
Thank you.
So everybody, a lot of politicians talk. And there's one out there, my opponent, we call him Establishment Ed. Because he says anything. Always bland nothingness.
Milk toast.
And when they asked him whether you would stop the removal of the statue of Robert E. Lee, Establishment Ed said, well, it's a local issue. In other words, he wouldn't do anything about it. And then when they asked him whether he was signing into legislation a prohibition on late-term abortion, he said, well, not unless there were exceptions for many different exceptions. In other words, he wouldn't do anything about it. And when they ask him what taxes he's going to cut or what spending he's going to cut to get it done, he won't give you any answers. And folks, that's why he wasn't elected in 2014.
That's right.
Because people see through that and they're sick and tired of the same old stuff. And that's why we elected President Trump in 2016.
Woohoo!
Establishment Ed. He says, well, look, I almost won. You know what they call that where I come from?
A loser.
A loser. Look, if you almost won in a tough year, that'd be one thing. But Republicans won everywhere in 2014, folks. You could put a monkey up as a Republican candidate for an office in 2014, and they would have won. Republicans won in Illinois. Republicans won in the People's Republic of Maryland, and we even won in Massachusetts. But we lost in Virginia because we had a crummy candidate.
Yes.
And if he couldn't win in 2014, then how in the heck does he think he can possibly win in 2017 when all the wacko lefty loonies are all out because they're mad at Trump, they're mad at all of us because we took our country back in 2016.
That's right.
They're all coming out. But let me tell them something. With all of your help, we took back America, we took back the White House in 2016, and in 2017, we're taking back the Commonwealth. Thanks a lot.